I'm Lee Shelley. This is my husband, Mark. And I believe it was early last year, we had to find care for my father-in-law and mother-in-law, Wayne and Marion. And we started with getting care in their home with care providers. And that worked for a while, but it became apparent that really was inadequate because we needed 24/7 care.
I think a good thing to comment on too is kind of what led up to that too, of Dad trying to be the caregiver himself,
Right.
And that being so taxing on him that he literally had a heart attack.
Right.
And then finding out afterwards that's common for that to occur, that the caregiver will have a heart attack or suffer some other disability as a result of trying to care for the impaired mate. And we're like, well, gee, why don't they tell people this? So we could do something before. They're working themselves to death, so to speak, trying to take care of the impaired spouse.
Right. Yeah.
So right then, trying to deal with the additional assistance that was necessary, and using agencies and having people come in and assisting, and really all they wanted to do was sit around and read a book, and it was uncomfortable to even just to have a stranger in their house for all the time. Mm-hmm. So it really was not a comfortable atmosphere for them.
I think it's hard to have someone in your house and not feel like you have to then take care of them as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of entertainment.
Yeah, almost was like it became another stressor, another chore for Dad to have to then deal with interacting with this other person.
Right. So then we did start looking for other alternatives, and it really was that was difficult because we didn't know what we were looking for, but we were very fortunate to find Loving Adult Family Home. We actually looked at a few others, but serendipitously found Loving Adult Family Home, and it was really interesting. Wayne, he really was the decision maker for their family. He made that decision very quickly after touring through there
and comparing it with some of the other facilities. I made that comment that for this similar fee, I felt like we had a facility that was twice as nice.
Oh yeah,
it was a beautiful facility, and there wasn't a proportional additional charge for that. To me, it was like there was just no contest. There was no comparison from a dollar standpoint of where I wanted to have Mom and Dad.
Yes, and the staff to patient, or I don't know if you call them patients, but the staff to resident ratio was amazing. They had, in some cases it was almost one-on-one care, but everybody was very well cared for, and it was like they were part of the family. You really had that feeling that they were taking care of their family. That was really amazing.
Yeah, so the facility being modern and nice and of great quality is really a wonderful thing. But to me, really undoubtedly, by far the greatest benefit it absolutely is the staff.
Yeah.
Which they still, as I think back on it, it's amazing to me what they do, what they're able to do, what they're able to give, the love that they're able to express to the residents is really remarkable. You can tell that, it's kind of cliche that it's not just a job for them. They love the residents that are there. It's they're doing God's work, taking care of their residents, and it's like you don't replicate or imitate that. That's just so exceptional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The level of patience they had with with residents was amazing because I don't think that I would, even with my own family, I don't think I would be able to maintain that level of patience. And the skill that they were able to bring to just the day-to-day activities, where you have to deal with someone who is really immobile, because I know Marion started at one level of care that she needed, and she evolved to where she eventually went into hospice and actually passed away there. And they were able to accommodate. That was another great thing, is they were able to accommodate her level of need from when she first came in to all the way to the very end. And they interfaced with hospice in an amazing way. Because there's another thing that, unless you've been through it before, you don't know what hospice is going to be like. I always had this impression that, you go to the hospital and, this person just slowly dies in the hospital. But with hospice, they're able to have a lot of things taken care of ahead of time, anticipate the patient's needs, and the staff was just amazingly skilled with that as well. And I think having experience there really is a big advantage for a family, who has parents that they need to have help with.
Yeah, to not have to at a difficult time then work on a transition to another facility, to go from care into hospice in a hospital setting. That was huge. That was just huge, because the familiarity for everyone, and in it really being a home environment,
right,
and not in a hospital setting. So that's a huge deal too.
Yeah.
Being able to the uniqueness of Dad essentially being still very functional at that time, and Mom having advancing dementia, and two very different. He needed some help on watching and meds and the like, but such dramatically different care levels being necessary, and them being able to accommodate both was really great as well.
Yeah, for them to be able to stay together too. They say it's like a suite they were able to stay in, like their home.
Just like home.
Yeah, to be able to stay there, that was actually quite unique, I think, as well.
I don't think we'd recommend any other facility. I mean, they're the only ones we would recommend. It's like without hesitation. If that ever comes up, then it's like, oh, I've got the place for you.
Absolutely.